Alright.
Interesting. I thought you would have edited out
The what?
beginning part.
No, because I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Hi, rest of the world. We're trying something new.
A new something.
This is Sean Temple. He is the artist in this video and who happens to be my significant other. We don't know when we're going to post this. Probably after the fact. Okay, alright, so we can announce. This is my fiance. And you can't see me, but I'm weird right now. And I'm looking at my ring, and I'm showing him my ring. Not that he's never seen it before.
Never.
Or made a decision to buy it and hide it for months and months.
Where did you get that ring?
Oh, that is a good question. Do you want to hear the story? I'm Susie Hosterman, and I run 2 YouTube channels. So, we wanted to try a time-lapse of Sean working because I find it really fascinating to watch him work. He's very specific and detailed, and yeah, I just wanted to share it with the world because we usually draw and paint and make art at least once or twice a week, minimum. Yeah. Also, Sean is a man of few words, so this is going to be a challenge for him. Well, unless you get on a topic. If you get on a topic, ask him about his Rubik's Cubes. Okay, so yeah, we're trying a thing, and we're going to start it now. So this is us setting up. I thought it was funny. We are using a security camera to try and capture all this, which I don't think we should do this in the future.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. Oh, and you see the stand over there? That is... What is that, Sean?
That is my cymbal stand.
Yeah, because you're a drummer. And we are resourceful.
Yeah.
And you are upside down.
Oh my gosh, it's making me sick. Oh.
See, this is a surprise for Sean because I edited it. I edited this video ever so slightly just to get rid of moments when he would move, go get some food or go to the bathroom and not be working. But this is the entire... I think we found out that it was about 6 hours of him working on this from basically the beginning. There's the reference photo. And what is that? Who is that?
That is Pippin. I figure we could start getting into the story of Pippin once the picture starts.
Oh, okay, you can do that. Also, pardon the green square
It'll
rectangle.
go away soon.
Yeah, we do turn that off.
There's me and my tea. I drink lots of tea. In case people want to know, it's vanilla caramel with a tab of milk, and I usually use 3 equal.
Oh my god!
It is pretty
delicious. Why
delicious.
are you giving people or your order? I mean, actually, this is good for me because I don't remember. So.
I mean, tea is superior to coffee. I'm just saying.
Okay. You really want to fight right now?
No.
Oh, we get it. You don't know what you're doing.
This is a lot of setup. A lot of setup. I don't know.
I just like that you can see the cell phone sitting there like, wow, what does this look like?
Some of you, like you can tell I already did the preliminary guidelines of the pencil work before I started on the color pencil. I end up using, well, I can say that too when I actually start drawing.
You can say anything at any time because this audio I can switch around if I wanted to.
So the
we're going fast now.
Yeah. So the color pencils I end up using are the polychromatic pencils. They're oil based. They
Rubik's
are
Cube.
wonderful.
Squirrel.
They blend very nicely.
Who is it? What is it? Huh? What do you use?
Polychromatic color pencils. They are oil based. I'm not exactly sure which.
Oh, there's our cat. That is...
Kuro.
Was that Kuro?
That was Kuro.
Okay. We have 3 cats. We also have 2 dogs. So occasionally you might see one running around.
This is going to be actually the first time I ever have watched myself draw.
Yeah. This will be fun. I'm excited to share this with you.
It's interesting. I usually start with eyes, but I did not start with eyes this time.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is Pippin. Pippin is a little tiny Sheltie. He had just recently passed away,
Right.
but he was for my old guitars for my old band, and one of his friends hit me up. He was like, "Hey, Pippin passed away. I was thinking we could get a picture all set up and given to him to show that, like, hey, sorry for your loss, but here's a cool picture of Pippin for you to remember him." I was like, "Oh yeah, I loved Pippin." So
How long did you know Pippin?
oh gosh, Livid Life was around for like 3 years. So yeah, I knew Pippin for 3 years.
Hmm. Oh, I sounded like a dog there. Yeah, it is interesting that you started with the mouth, because the big differences between how we work on art is I leave the eyes to the last because they are intimidating and I don't want them staring at me as I work. But you give it life right off the bat, which I think is probably more respectful. It's like, oh, I see you are a person. Here's your soul first.
So you can see how.
Sorry. Here's your soul. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Cece. That's Cece, the big fluffy cat up in the corner. Or that's not a corner. Go ahead.
If you guys can tell, I got a spare piece of paper because this is my first time working with polychromatics. And so I didn't know what they really looked like on the Bristol paper. So I got a sheet, ripped off a sheet, and just was testing them because the color that they were showing on the pencil was definitely not the same that they were showing once they were actually put on the paper. So I had to keep testing them out, make sure that the colors were going to be pretty congruent. I like doing little photo edits when I draw because I don't want it to be exactly the same as a photo, because if that were the case, then I would just have them just frame a photograph essentially.
Right, yeah.
So I enhance a little bit more brightness in the mouth in some parts, desaturate a few other things. Desaturation is really important for realism. I'm working on the wet parts essentially for the highlights in the mouth. It's where you can see where the bubbles are on his tongue.
Oh, I remember one thing that's interesting about this picture. I say we, but like I saw them and gave my opinion, but that's the extent of it. There were a couple photos to pick from to use as a reference, and we both really liked this one because of how the snout is so forward and it's softer with the eyes and in the back, and it's a silly happy face, and
it just looks like he's smiling so.
He's so happy.
He's so happy.
Yeah.
And that was the embodiment of Pippin, was just the happiest little Sheltie dog in the world.
I do recall when you were working on the nose. Wasn't it the nose detail that you were getting really like, ah?
Well, we'll see it when it pops up. But yeah, that nose detail was quite a bit because you have to get all that texture.
Did you have any frustrations when you were working on the mouth?
I think it was just the placement of the teeth. I was worried about the shapes because they're so just different. But anybody who's ever used polychromatics kind of know you have to layer a lot to get the saturation you need, which they're great for desaturated areas because then you don't have to apply so much, but the saturated areas, you really, to get the color you need to layer.
Cece's face up there.
Oh.
And that's in comparison with just regular old color pencils, right?
Yeah, wax-based ones, yeah.
Wax-based ones. Oh, you're on the nose.
Yeah, this is when I started on the nose. And the blue part, I shaded in a lot because you can see a little bit of the underbase for it, but then at some point here I'm going to be starting in on the texture, and you have to get it like that leathery feeling, circular, cracked parts.
Is that blue that you're working with right now?
It looks like it's black or brown.
Do you like to start with your darker colors first?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah, it's weird, yeah.
Oh, it's not weird. it's just a process, and I'm curious. I'm being the interviewer. So why do you start with darker colors when some artists out there prefer to layer lighter colors and then end on the darker?
Maybe it's easier for me to see where the outline of the shape of the thing I'm drawing.
I think that makes sense. I also think there's an advantage to starting with the darker, because you'll know what the tone should be or the color should be right off the bat, because you have that contrast of the white and the black. So I can understand why you might do that.
You can see where I'm getting the bigger texture parts in here too.
Oh yeah.
Before I start in on the tiny texture parts.
Yeah, that's good. You kind of want to make it like act like it's scales or something, but it's not. It's just like the texture of dog noses.
Which in the end product of it, you don't see it as much, but it's there. It's important for realism. That even the most little subtle things show.
Is this what you were like, oh my gosh, this is taking so long?
Yeah. Because even you can tell right there, just the texture of it being relevant, but just
helpful. Yeah. I like going back to the tongue, the little baby of spit on it. Oh, there's the blue, right? Yeah.
Because there's always a good amount of navy and purple and black. It's never ever just purely black. That's why they use. I know you as a photographer and videographer know, but yeah, using blues as to show like night scenes and stuff for filters.
Yeah, in painting, I was taught back in college never to use black, pure black. Always mix black with like a brown, or make up a brown, like so red with it, or have your greens in there, blues, but never.
Oh, you saw me drumming on my leg there.
No, but I believe it. But never to use pure black. It's just like a purest thing. But I found when I've started working with more drawing type mediums as opposed to paint, that you just gotta go with pure black sometimes, especially with pencils. Because how are you gonna get? I mean, maybe if you layer a bunch, but I don't know.
I tend to draw a little bit faster.
This fast?
Some people spend like 20, 30, 100 plus hours on a picture. This, like we said, this only took me like 6 hours.
Oh, what am I doing there? That was me pointing out something. I probably was saying how much I liked something.
You can see when
really cool. Look at the nose. It just already looks... Ugh.
You can tell when I have fun using the electric eraser.
Yeah. The little details, the hints of white there.
Giving that the highlights and stuff. The eyes were interesting at first because at some point I had to completely either erase or adjust the eye, if I remember correctly, because it was either not in the right place or just too big.
I mean, you got those eyes really quickly.
Yeah, there wasn't too much to them. It was just, I think, 3 shades of blue, and brown and black.
Plus, it's probably a little nifty because you don't have to have it as detailed and in focus. Yeah. Since it did have that depth of field to it.
The little hairs on his snout were the most fun I had, because you had to take the white color pencil and bring it down to give those little feathered hairs over the tongue. I saved the whiskers for last.
So now it looks like you're doing more of the outside composition of it to just mark. Is that what you're doing? Do you even know what you're doing? Do you even think while you're doing, or does it just come naturally?
I would say more naturally, yeah, for sure.
Magical person. Oh, I think there's a sash. It could be both dogs, actually.
Yeah, you can see where I'm working underneath the snout, just to try and get that texture and that hair.
There's so much activity around you at this point. Oh. 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 I have a feeling that the camera is shifting. Oh, good, we fixed it. Okay. The camera is shifting because we have our puppy, Sasha, out and about now, and she is continuously bringing me a tennis ball to throw for her, and probably knocking into our makeshift lighting and camera setup here. So if that happens again, whoops. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh yeah, there are the snout things. The snout things. So you said your favorite part was the hairs coming off of the snout, right?
Texture, yeah.
What was your least favorite part? Not that we're focusing on negatives, but...
That fur was a little bit harder to keep and remain in focus a bit, I'm not gonna lie. But, I mean, it's part of that depth of field that was going on in the photograph, too. This ear took a bit, because I was trying to figure out the different colors, and especially that, like gold tan undertone. Working with the polychromatics, that was needing to be adjusted. I can't remember how many pencils I ended up using altogether. Right now we can obviously see was using about 7 there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I don't know how to I keep counting in French. That's what I'm doing. Oh, it's starting to look. I love seeing when the fur comes in, because then, you know, it starts to look like something fuzzy and cute that you want to pet.
At some point I use, I think, either a white color pencil or a light brown to start blending in everything too. I think that's more near the end.
See, I think I would have fun with the fur because it's very flowy.
It is very much more like your art style, using broad strokes.
Those curves, yeah. Oh my gosh. Just the hurricane of our puppy running around in the background. Look at all the toys she just dropped at once. Gosh.
That looked like Withers at first.
No, it's definitely Sash running around. Aw, now she's settled down. Gosh, like, you just got that so quickly. Like, the fur, the whole background looks like it took you 2 seconds to do.
I remember I had to keep going over at some point too, so I wasn't even fully done on that side yet.
But you wanted to get enough to kind of bounce back and make it equal.
I wanted to get majority of the color down first, and then start finishing up the details.
Do you cover up parts of the picture on purpose to try to focus and make sure you...
Focus and primarily so I don't smear and smudge stuff.
Oh, okay, so you use it as your guard.
Yeah.
Okay. You did help me, puppy.
And there's people out there, especially who probably like using smaller reference pictures to make it more of a challenge, or just don't like blowing up stuff. I don't know. I like my process of blowing up the picture to the size I'm going to be working on, just so it's faster.
So you blow it up with like a bomb, fire, You don't like my joke?
I almost made it dirty, that's why.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah.
PG.
Mm-hmm.
So how about with a printer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
you print it out on a printer.
Yeah. It just definitely, like, it probably adds on probably 10 hours sometimes if you're referencing from a smaller picture, and if you're not using grid lines.
Oh, what are you about to say? Because I never use grid lines.
It's just
Do you think that takes longer?
It depends. Yeah. I've drawn realism for almost a decade now. And it's just I know where I need to put lines and where to reference points and how important it is to scale things in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes naturally over the years.
Yeah, I remember learning grids, or the grid system,
Mm-hmm.
back when I was in 8th grade, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I thought it took away so much of the creative fun.
Right,
but
yeah.
I'm not a realistic
Mm-mm.
painter or drawer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I'm too shaky.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, I can do more realistic portraits, and I have.
Mm-hmm.
And especially recently, I've been practicing with it. I think hanging out with you and seeing you work,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard not to want to try it.
I wanted to keep the background more simple, so it gave more focus on Pippin too.
Mm.
You see me using a blending stick just to get everything. At some point, Susie suggested that I get rid of that hard line behind his ear too, because it was just taken away. I can't remember if I just added more color or if I just blended it more.
Yeah, I think maybe you did more of like a crosshatch kind of style. Because it was so close to being like one hard line area. It was so close to being right smack dab in the middle, but it was just off enough, and it just didn't. I felt like it took too much attention from it.
You can see that awesome case that holds all my colored pencils.
Yeah, that was new at this point.
I was really happy to get this picture done for Tommy.
Oh yeah, this is the end, huh? Whole 6 hours.
He ended up having one of our other friends make a frame with bones and hearts over it with his name on it. And
with the dog's name on it?
Yeah, and we were able to just collectively, here's my signature, collectively give it to him as a group.
So fancy. And now comes the critique. Or no, so right now I'm taking pictures just to have in case for social media, Instagram. I send them all to Sean, and I also brag about him on, well, I used to brag about you on the Sasha_GPS Instagram account, but I just recently set up one for art_art_art_pet_portraits on Instagram. So we're trying to post stuff more on that because that's specifically for the pet portraits, which he gets a lot of commissions for. So it's a nice thing to do. What's the little thing over there? It's a tool.
Oh yeah, my little tool thing. I don't know why I had that out.
Yeah, what you doing with that? I also, after Sean is done with his pictures, I make sure to take a picture of it in natural light, closer to the window, but because this was at night by this time, I save it for the next day. I like to photograph it on a white background just to make sure that it's all completely the correct colors. And that's it! Isn't it? Oh, look, you're doing something. Oh, yeah, you framed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I show it, but every now and then I also take a photograph of it framed, because that's always useful too in future marketing stuff.
Yeah. They ended up not using that frame, but It was the different frame that they painted on.
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's still nice to give that with it. Mm-hmm. And this is Sean's thigh. Yeah. Welcome to Sean's thigh. I wonder if that's it. I wonder if it finished. Yeah, it finished. No, we have 43 seconds left of your thigh. Oh. That's a good thigh. How long did it take you to grow that thigh?
32 years.
32. Oh, look at it go. Oh, there's a hand. Oh, what you doing? Are you stretching? Oh, you're cracking your fingers?
Looked like it. That was weird.
Is it weird? You've never done that in your life? You're doing it right now. Are those the sound effects? Like I can use them and put them in whenever we see your thigh? Mm-hmm. Why am I talking about your... Oh, it's done! Oh, we would have just sat here staring at your thigh. Yeah. Ah. Alright. So that was our experiment of watching Sean make stuff and see if we say anything interesting.
Well, actually faster than I thought it would.
Yeah, because it's fun. Because we have fun. Mm-hmm. I appreciated the fact that I tried to distract you anytime you were talking about actual art, interesting stuff for people, because I'm like, look at that. Oh, look at that. Squirrel. Oh, thigh. You were very cool, calm, and collected, like usual. Mm-hmm. And you really plugged those polychromatic pencils.
Yeah, I should really put the name of what brand...
We can do that. We can actually put the link in the description, like so many people do.
So, in that video, I used...
Spripperflarben. Is that what it's called?
Oh, Sharper Farben.
Sharperflarben.
Shapirer.
Shipper.
You should really learn what the actual...
Wait.
Farben. Just something Farben.
Shipper. There are two R's. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's Sharper.
Shipper. Oh, that would be cute. Sharper Farben.
Sharper Farben.
Shipper Farben.
Yeah, it says excellent. It says excellent on all of them.
Sharpenflarben. So if you're looking for that kind of pencil, it's Sharpenflarben. And there is a link in the description below. We can also plug the case that you got for them, because you are super excited about that, and it is very nifty.
I don't think there's a name.
It doesn't matter, we can find it later.
We just got off.
We're not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to visit the link in the description below. Sean, do you have any social media stuff or whatever that people can find you on whatever?
I only have Temple Illustrations on Facebook. I also have a website, SeanTempleIllustrations.com.
.com?
I think that's it.
Yeah, the best place to reach Sean if you're interested in ordering a commission is probably through Facebook. I think that's Messenger, where you're most active, is on Facebook.
Instagram's at Temple Illustrations,
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we also have the new Instagram account, which is that art_pet_portraits. And that's us as well. Get it, guys? It's called art pet portraits. Get it? Get it? Anyone? Okay. What? I think this is fun. We make videos together sometimes, but we don't talk in them. It's usually us doing stuff. So this is fun that we sat down and actually talked, because in real life I never talk to you.
Total silence. Helen Keller's Paradise. No.
What is happening? Is that a jab at the fact that I'm slightly deaf and slightly blind? Alright, we're fighting now, so we probably stopped. No. But this was fun. I want to do this more often. I like to say things. I like to say things to get a rise out of Sean, because he makes the cutest faces. But unfortunately, you don't get to see the cutest faces. So maybe we'll start adding some video into this. I think we feel less self-conscious, though, just doing audio. Plus, I'm liking just listening to your silky,
voice.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
trying so hard to be this low, you know. It's not my natural talking voice.
Yeah, girl. That's my impression of Sean.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
She thinks my deep voice sexy. You are kind of like a Bob Ross, though. You've got like that chill, just kind of, just really, yeah, man. That was a very bad Bob Ross. We did talk about squirrels in this. That's very Bob Ross relevant. Okay. So, thank you guys for joining us in this adventure. We might have more, or this might be it. Or, actually, no, wait. From a marketing standpoint, I should be telling you that, yes, we are making more. We're going to post one in a week. We're going to stay consistent. So, please, follow, subscribe, hit like, and also to build up engagement and interaction and make us more relevant online, how about you leave us a comment that is relevant to this video in the way that I will now prompt you with a question. So that question can be...
Let us know what your favorite medium is to use drawing your pictures.
That's what Sean wants to know. What do I want to know? Sean wants to know what medium you most like to work in if you are an artist. And I want to know if you guys have any pets that you love and what their names are and stuff, because we have a lot of pets here. We love to hear about your animals. We get very involved with the pet portraits that we make. Especially ones whenever it's been a furry friend that passed away. I just think of my cat and... Alright, so now we get to say goodbye.
Bye.
You're so cute. I was gonna think of like a tagline or something like, so that's our tale.
Bye.
No, that was pretty good. Okay, so that's our tale, guys. Thanks for sticking with it.
There.
We'll get better. Okay, alright. Thanks. Bye.